doubleheader of the tournament and two table toppers in one day. Welcome to Sports Star Extras IPL special. Let's get down to our hits and misses of both the matches. Vedant, give me your first hit of the afternoon match that was Rajasthan Royals versus Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Firstly, it was quite tough to see the cricketers battling the heat, and day games are not easy at all in the conditions in UAE. So yeah, my heart goes out to them. But yeah, Devdutt Padikkal, what a brilliant player! After a long time, we are watching a player I think who's meant for really bigger things. Very classy batsman, and the way he's executing his shots, the way he took on Jaydev Unadkat early on, it was beautiful to watch. Also, not to forget the slip catch that he took to get rid of Jos Buttler. So all in all, a complete package, and of course, very classy. So very happy with Padikkal's performance. What about you?
My hit is specifically Yuzvendra Chahal's variations. We all know that he has been a chess player once upon a time, and it reflects in his bowling. The game was no different against Rajasthan Royals because primarily the manner in which he used the crease and moreover used his angles. The moment he saw a slight hint of a batsman trying to make room or waiting for him for a swat, he just pushed the ball wide outside off stump and it reaped rewards almost every time he did that, right? And that's what Yuzvendra Chahal is all about. Everyone feels that just because he's a leggy, he's successful. No, it's a leggy with a brain. That is what works for him when it comes to IPL especially, and that was on display during the game.
Right, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Talking about the misses, I was very disappointed with Robin Uthappa because being a senior player and you walk into a situation where your team is 3 down to get out like that. Perhaps Rajasthan expects him to play anchored role sort of because of him being who he is, because he's been around in the IPL for so long, won IPL titles with KKR and played for India. It's to have a player of his experience and not reaping benefits fully is a concern, I think.
Yeah. My miss is going to be the umpiring, Jeff. Not many commentators who actually elaborated on it, or maybe they were asked not to. But it was one of the crucial points in the match. Yuzvendra Chahal's first over in the power play, Sanju Samson hitting it back to him. It was contentious. Okay, eventually the third umpire has received a lot of flack, especially on social media, because the ball one could not be sure whether the ball touched the ground or the fingers were right behind the ball. But the fact that Chahal's only 2 fingers had actually made a contact with the ball was some indication enough that the ball would have touched the ground. But the fact of the matter is, strictly going by rules, as umpire Paschim Pathak, the third umpire Paschim Pathak, said on the microphone that he could not be 100% conclusive to reverse the on-field decision. Remember, the soft decision was out. But again, last week we discussed one umpiring controversy, and don't we all know, Ridan, that the standards of Indian umpires, especially in domestic cricket, are a point that is far from being discussed in 30 seconds. So let's leave it for another topic, but that's my miss for the day.
Talking about the next game, KKR versus Delhi Capitals, tough one for KKR, Delhi being such a strong side and such a batting heavy side. Who are your hits and misses from that game?
Yeah, it's like again we saw 400 plus runs being scored without any fuss. So again, I have picked a bowler as my hit, Henrik Nortje. Obviously, he has been in the shadows of his much celebrated South African pace period. But time and again over the last fortnight has Nortje shown that he is right up there along with Kagiso Rabada. And this game actually kind of underlined it. Okay, to return with 33 for 3 of 4 overs, having bowled in the power plays and having bowled the all-important 19th over, just amplifies how good he was on the day. And moreover, remember, he was not a pick in the auction. Okay, so I think if we have to chalk out a list of the most useful replacements, I think Nortje has slightly overtaken Pattinson with this performance.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. My hit would be somebody who was not batting in his usual position, that is Rahul Tripathi. I mean, I was a little surprised too. I mean, I understand that you don't get a chance to bat at a position that you want in the IPL because so many star players are around, and also the India players, they prefer their own positions too. But then it was a little bizarre because I actually thought that they might just consider Tom Banton today, because I was really hoping for it, because Sunil Narayan hasn't really delivered as an opener, and also with the ball, I think I feel Varun Chakravarti is doing what Sunil Narayan used to do. Whatever little of Varun Chakravarti I saw. So Rahul Tripathi, brilliant knock, coming in at that position, picking the right spots, adjusting to the lens, identifying the lens very nicely. Tough luck, but then had he won the game, he would have been a hero definitely. But then this effort doesn't really, make him. He should not be disappointed with this effort, I feel, because it was a brilliant knock in such a situation. And what about you?
Yeah, Rudhan, you touched upon Sunil Narayan, right? That's my miss of the day when it comes to the evening game. Yeah. Primarily because just like what happened, what I stressed on after the CSK loss, Sunil Narayan and Shane Watson are quite similar cases when it comes to batting. Okay, we have seen them just not being right up there. Okay, in 4 innings now. 4 innings is a little too much. You are almost halfway into the IPL, right? So it's high time Knight Riders do something about that slot. And when it comes to Narayan, even his bowling, he has been overshadowed by Varun Chakravarti.
That's right.
All due credit to Varun Chakravarti, but Narayan is just not looking as what he was at his peak when Knight Riders won the title in 2014 and a couple of years thereafter. I think it's high time Knight Riders do something about Narayan's slot in the 11, if not at least as an opener. Rudhan, I'll leave the CSK game for you. I think I'll just start off with.
Okay, fine, sure.
Okay, I would say it's a no-brainer when it comes to the matchup to watch out for is Rashid Khan against the MI batters. We all know that Rashid Khan has had an exceptional record against Mumbai Indians. If I'm not mistaken, in 24 overs, he has picked 6 wickets, but more importantly, considered just 115 runs. And imagine, half of those 24 overs would have been bowled at Wankhede Stadium, wherein a spinner finds it really difficult to deliver during the IPL. Okay. Add to that the fact that Rashid Khan has always held an upper hand against Rohit Sharma at times, right? So if he has to be used right up front to dismiss Rohit, or later on in the innings, his face-off against Hardik Pandya and Kieron Pollard will eventually turn out to be decisive in the match. That's what I feel. Over to you for the late night game.
That game, I'm really excited to see. I'm actually very excited to watch KL and Mayank anyway, even when they are playing for Karnataka. And it is actually beautiful to see them do this for Kings 11. And actually, the Karnataka top 3 is the Kings 11 top 3 is Karnataka, with Karun Nair being the number 3. But the approach with which Mayank and KL are batting, it's dangerous. It's destructive. And definitely it's quite useful. The other day it didn't really work out till a long time, but the start, I mean, the confidence with which you start an innings, it's actually reminding me of the way Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow bats for England. So I'm really excited to watch how they play Deepak Chahar, who is known to be a good T20 bowler in the at depth as well as up front, and he can move the ball here and there. So, but Mayank and KL, oh my God, I just can't wait to see that first over when that happens tomorrow.